begins quietly. No one sees it at first. You're 7 years old looking into the weary eyes of a parent who's breaking. Maybe it's the alcohol. Maybe it's the anger. Maybe it's the heavy silence of someone too hurt to be present. And in that moment, something ancient wakes up inside you. If I don't keep everything together, no one will. That's the instant a child starts to disappear. Not from the room, but from themselves. They start smiling more, crying less. They learn to scan faces before speaking, to adjust the mood before it collapses. They become the family's quiet guardian, the small adult in the house, and everyone praises them. You're so mature, you're so responsible, you're so strong. But no one ever asks, at what cost? This is the unseen sorrow of children who grew up too early. And those effects don't fade with age. They follow you into your relationships, your work, your self-worth. And if you never look back, you spend adulthood repeating the same survival patterns that once protected you, now slowly destroying you. Let's look at what really happens in the mind. When a child becomes the emotional caretaker instead of being cared for, psychologists call it parentification. The child turns into the protector, the peacemaker, the listener, the fixer. It's not just unhealthy, it rewires the nervous system. Because when a child is constantly managing emotions, theirs or others, it breeds hypervigilance. You begin scanning for threats. You walk on eggshells. You start believing that love must be earned through peacekeeping. You learn that your needs are dangerous, that theirs are urgent. So you vanish, not in body, but in spirit. And what remains is a polished version of you. The good kid, the silent achiever, the reliable friend, the one who never asks for anything. You wear that mask so convincingly that even you forget it's not your real face. Yet something deep inside still aches. That buried child never died. They're still inside whispering, "Why didn't anyone protect me?" As you grow, the patterns deepen. You might become fiercely independent, refusing help, mistrusting love, never letting anyone close. You might feel hollow during moments of joy because it feels foreign, undeserved, even unsafe. You may push yourself endlessly because doing equals worth. And worst of all, you might not even notice that you're still in survival mode. When chaos becomes familiar, your body treats calm as danger. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Peace feels suspicious. Love feels like a transaction you'll someday have to repay. This is the true psychology of a child who grew up too fast. It's not just sadness, it's complex trauma. It changes how you love, how you trust, how you see yourself. Why would a child choose this role? Because children will do anything for connection, even abandon themselves. It's not weakness, it's intelligence. It's the nervous system choosing survival over authenticity. But the tragedy is this: what once saved you now traps you. Many of us walk through adulthood as high-functioning versions of our neglected selves. We overachieve to be loved. We stay silent to avoid rejection. We care for everyone while secretly wishing someone would notice that we're tired, that we're not as strong as we pretend. That longing to finally be seen, to fall apart and be held, that isn't your adult craving. That's your inner child still waiting. Healing doesn't begin with fixing, it begins with witnessing. Until you face what happened, you'll keep dismissing it. It wasn't that bad. Others had it worse. I turned out fine. But fine is another disguise. And deep down, you know it. So what becomes of that child in adulthood? They turn into people who never truly feel safe. Partners who fear softness, helpers who can't receive help, givers who apologize for crying, who flinch at kindness, who mistake exhaustion for success. That's the price of growing up too soon. If childhood taught you strength at the cost of softness, silence instead of honesty, care for others over care for yourself, what kind of life does that create? A life lived holding your breath, waiting for permission to finally let go. But here's the truth. No one is coming to rescue that child. You are. You're the one who must go back, take their hand, and whisper what no one ever said. You didn't deserve that. You were just a child. You can rest now. This is the beginning of shadow work. Not pretending, not bypassing pain with positivity, but turning toward the parts of you left behind and saying, I see you. I hear you. And I'm not leaving. It's hard work. Feeling the grief you never had time for. Sitting with the anger, the emptiness, the longing. Crying for the birthdays that no one remembered. Mourning the innocence you lost protecting those who failed to protect you. But that grief, that's not weakness. It's thawing. It's healing. These patterns follow you quietly. You might become the therapist friend who never shares their own pain. You might be admired for your independence while secretly terrified of being a burden. You might overfunction in love, managing, fixing, explaining, then wonder why you're exhausted. You might struggle to say no because boundaries still feel like betrayal. These aren't personality flaws. They're coping mechanisms. And the good news? Anything learned can be unlearned. It starts when you stop worshiping strength and start honoring your wounds. Ask your inner child, what did I need back then that I never got? You might hear answers like, here, I needed someone to tell me it wasn't my fault. I needed someone to notice my sadness. I needed to play, rest, and laugh without fear. And little by little, you start giving those things to yourself. Not to erase the past, but to stop reliving it. This is how you stop searching for parents in your partners. This is how you stop mistaking anxiety for intuition. This is how you stop running from who you were and start becoming who you are. Carl Jung once wrote, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. But true healing asks us to face it all. The ashamed, the angry, the small, the forgotten. Because healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before you had to protect yourself. So, if you're someone who grew up too fast, remember this. Your maturity was never the problem. Your lack of choice was. But now you do have a choice. You can choose softness. You can choose rest. You can choose to stop managing everyone else's emotions and start tending to your own. It won't happen instantly. There will be days when you feel small again. Good. That means you're finally letting that child come home. Let them cry. Let them laugh. Let them exist. Because you're not broken. You're becoming whole. And maybe for the first time you're growing up, not out of fear, but out of truth. You never had a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time, you get to write it.